Rack pulls primarily focus on the initial pull of the deadlift motion, hence the name. They follow a very similar deadlift pattern, aside from the overall range of motion. This lack of range of motion, however, is why rack pulls are such a great progression to an actual deadlift. There are plenty of people out there who can do a very good deadlift from the floor, but they can nail it coming out of the rack due to the lesser range. And you control that range based on where you set the pins in the rack, allowing yourself time to build up to what you feel comfortable with. The demonstration coming up will show me running through what that looks like. Starting on the third rung from the bottom, lock the lats and scapula down and back and pull. Now I'm going to move the pins down to the second rung. A big thing to be aware of as I'm going through this exercise, it can be really easy to go into excessive dorsiflexion at the ankle and using too much quad. We want to make sure we are loading our backside and getting that weight back on our heels. Again, same thing here. Setting up, lock the lats and scapula down and back, pull strong, chest up. And then we'll finish up by going to the last rung on the bottom. And again, we'll set up right next to the bar. Get those hips back. Load that heel and pull. As you saw, nothing really too complicated there. Just keep in mind those form cues that were mentioned and really focus on coming up powerfully out of the rack. And I want to mention that while this video is associated with an article about using the deadlift for fat loss, rack pulls are also an awesome accessory movement if you have reached a plateau in your ability to lock out at the top of your deadlifts, because you can use more load with rack pulls than you could with a regular deadlift because of the decreased range of motion. To find out how rack pulls can be used in your quest for fat loss, check out the article Your Secret Fat Loss Weapon, Part 1 at personallyfitdayton.com. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at personallyfitdayton@gmail.com to find out how we can help you experience your fitness potential. This is Casey Esser, signing off.